When Catherine Middleton married Prince William in 2011, millions watched as a commoner transformed into royalty before their eyes. But what the cameras didn't capture were the countless unwritten rules she would need to master, traditions so deeply embedded in royal life that they exist only in whispered conversations and careful observations. These aren't the protocols found in official handbooks, but the subtle customs that separate true royals from mere title holders. Behind the palace walls, Catherine began learning a complex dance of behavior that has been passed down through generations, never officially documented but absolutely essential. From the way she holds her handbag to the specific angle at which she must tilt her head during photographs, every gesture carries meaning in the royal world. These traditions, invisible to outsiders, would become the foundation of her transformation from Kate Middleton into Princess Catherine, and, eventually, a future queen consort. The story of how one woman embraced these hidden customs reveals not just the dedication required to join the most famous family in the world, but also the fascinating preservation of centuries-old practices that continue to shape modern royalty. Each tradition she follows connects her to queens who came before, creating an unbroken chain of royal continuity that transcends official rules and regulations. Catherine's first introduction to these unspoken traditions began during her courtship with William. Long before their engagement was announced, she was quietly observing and learning from those around her. The royal family doesn't provide newcomers with a manual of do's and don'ts, instead, they expect careful observation and natural adoption of their ways. One of the earliest traditions Catherine learned was the art of royal punctuality, which differs significantly from regular punctuality. In royal circles, arriving exactly on time is considered early, while arriving fashionably late shows respect for hierarchy. Catherine discovered that she should arrive precisely 3 to 5 minutes after the designated time for most events, unless she was the guest of honor, in which case different rules applied entirely. The tradition of royal acknowledgement became another crucial lesson for Catherine. When greeting people, she learned that the depth of her nod should correspond to the rank of the person she was meeting. A slight inclination of the head for peers, a more pronounced nod for senior royals, and a full curtsy only for the monarch. These subtle gradations of respect had never been written down anywhere, but every member of the royal family understood them instinctively. Catherine also discovered the complex world of royal gift-giving traditions. Unlike ordinary people who might choose gifts based on personal preference, royal gift-giving follows intricate unwritten rules. Gifts must be appropriate to the relationship, the occasion, and the recipient's position in the line of succession. Too expensive, and it suggests improper influence. Too modest, and it implies disrespect. Catherine learned to navigate these treacherous waters by observing what other family members chose and seeking subtle guidance from palace staff who understood these nuances. The tradition of royal conversation proved equally challenging for Catherine to master. In royal circles, certain topics are perpetually off-limits, not because of official protocol, but because of centuries of understood boundaries. Personal opinions on political matters, family disputes, or controversial social issues must never be expressed directly. Instead, Catherine learned the art of diplomatic deflection, steering conversations toward safe topics while appearing engaged and interested. Another unwritten rule that Catherine embraced was the royal approach to personal emotions. While the public might expect royals to be stoic and unemotional, the reality within royal circles is more nuanced. Emotional expression is permitted but must be carefully calibrated to the situation. Catherine learned when tears were appropriate at memorial services, when laughter was expected at charity events, and when maintaining complete composure was essential during state occasions. The tradition of royal loyalty extends far beyond public declarations of support for the monarchy. Catherine discovered that loyalty in royal circles means defending family members even when privately disagreeing with their actions, presenting a united front regardless of personal feelings, and never allowing internal conflicts to become public knowledge. This unwritten rule of absolute discretion became one of the most challenging traditions for Catherine to maintain, particularly during times of family tension. Catherine's wardrobe choices revealed another layer of unwritten royal traditions. While fashion experts might focus on designers and costs, Catherine learned that royal dressing involves subtle messages and careful symbolism. Colors can convey diplomatic messages when visiting foreign countries, jewelry choices can honor deceased family members, and even the angle of a hat can show respect or assert authority. These sartorial traditions require deep knowledge of royal history and careful attention to the political implications of every fashion choice. The tradition of royal patience became evident in how Catherine learned to handle public engagements. Unlike celebrities who might rush through events, royal tradition demands that each person in a receiving line feels personally acknowledged and valued. Catherine discovered that she must remember names, ask meaningful questions, and show genuine interest in everyone she meets, regardless of how many similar conversations she has had that day. Royal dining traditions presented another complex set of unwritten rules for Catherine to master. Beyond basic table manners, royal dining involves understanding the hierarchy of seating, the proper way to engage in conversation during different courses, and the subtle signals used to indicate when a meal should progress to the next stage. Catherine learned that as a royal, she sets the pace for everyone else at the table, a responsibility that requires constant awareness of others' comfort and the overall flow of the event. The tradition of royal charity work goes far deeper than simply appearing at fundraising events. Catherine discovered that royal charitable involvement requires long-term commitment, careful research into the organizations being supported, and genuine engagement with the causes being championed. This tradition demands that royals become experts in their chosen fields, able to speak knowledgeably about complex issues and provide meaningful support beyond their famous presence. Catherine's relationship with the media revealed additional unwritten royal traditions. While official protocol might dictate certain interactions with journalists, the unwritten rules involve reading subtle cues from photographers, understanding when to pause for the perfect shot, and knowing how to convey messages through body language and facial expressions. Catherine learned that every public appearance is a performance that requires careful attention to how her actions will be interpreted and reported. The tradition of royal discretion extends to personal relationships as well. Catherine discovered that royal friendships require careful vetting, as every person in her social circle reflects on the monarchy's reputation. Old friendships must be maintained with sensitivity to avoid creating security concerns or media speculation, while new relationships must be approached with caution to ensure they align with royal values and expectations. As Catherine continued to navigate these unwritten traditions, she began to understand that they serve a deeper purpose than mere ceremony. These customs preserve the mystique and dignity of the monarchy while ensuring continuity across generations. Each tradition she embraced connected her to centuries of royal history while preparing her for the future responsibilities of queenship. The complexity of these unwritten rules revealed the true challenge of joining the royal family. Unlike learning official protocols, mastering these traditions requires intuition, observation, and a deep understanding of royal culture. Catherine's success in embracing these customs demonstrated her commitment to her role and her respect for the institution she had joined. Through careful observation and dedicated practice, Catherine transformed from an outsider looking into someone who embodied these traditions naturally. Her journey revealed not only her personal determination but also the remarkable preservation of customs that continue to define royal life in the 21st century. The art of royal motherhood brought Catherine face to face with an entirely new set of unwritten traditions that had been carefully preserved through generations of royal parents. Unlike ordinary mothers who might rely on parenting books or family advice, Catherine discovered that royal parenting follows customs so deeply embedded in palace culture that they had never needed to be formally documented. Catherine's pregnancy announcements revealed the first of these maternal traditions. The timing of public revelations follows an unspoken royal calendar that considers state visits, family obligations, and media management. She learned that royal pregnancies aren't simply personal announcements but matters of state that require careful coordination with palace communications teams, government schedules, and international diplomatic calendars. The tradition of royal birth preparations extends far beyond choosing hospitals and doctors. Catherine discovered that royal births involve multiple layers of security protocols, media management strategies, and symbolic considerations that have been refined over centuries. The choice of hospital, the announcement procedures, and even the positioning of photographers all follow traditions that balance public interest with family privacy. Royal nursery traditions proved particularly fascinating for Catherine to navigate. The decoration and arrangement of royal nurseries follow customs that blend practical security concerns with historical precedent. Certain colors, furniture arrangements, and decorative elements carry symbolic meaning that connects each royal child to their heritage while preparing them for their future roles within the family structure. Catherine learned that royal children's clothing follows unwritten traditions that communicate messages about status, occasion, and family unity. The choice between formal and casual wear, the selection of colors and patterns, and the decision to dress children in matching or coordinating outfits all carry significance that extends beyond mere fashion preferences. These clothing choices often honor deceased family members, acknowledge cultural heritage, or demonstrate respect for host countries during international visits. The tradition of royal childhood education revealed another complex set of unwritten rules for Catherine to master. Royal children's educational experiences must balance normal childhood development with preparation for public roles. Catherine discovered that choosing schools, tutors, and extracurricular activities requires consideration of security implications, media attention, and the long-term image of the monarchy. Royal playdates and social interactions for the children follow traditions that have been carefully developed to protect both the royal children and their friends. Catherine learned to navigate the complex world of royal childhood friendships, ensuring her children could experience normal social development while maintaining appropriate security and privacy boundaries. The tradition of teaching royal children about their heritage begins much earlier than most people realize. Catherine discovered that royal children learn about their family history, constitutional role, and public responsibilities through carefully planned experiences rather than formal lessons. Museum visits, family gatherings, and everyday conversations all serve as opportunities to gradually introduce children to their unique position in British society. Catherine's approach to royal discipline and behavior management revealed additional unwritten traditions. Royal children must learn to behave appropriately in public settings while maintaining the natural spontaneity of childhood. Catherine discovered techniques for managing children's behavior during public events that preserve their dignity while ensuring they meet the behavioral expectations placed on royal family members. The tradition of royal family photography sessions involves complex considerations beyond simply capturing good images. Catherine learned that family photographs serve historical purposes, diplomatic functions, and public relations objectives. The choice of clothing, settings, poses, and expressions all follow unwritten guidelines that balance family intimacy with royal dignity. Royal holiday traditions presented Catherine with another set of customs to embrace and adapt. Family Christmas celebrations, Easter gatherings, and summer holidays all follow patterns that have been established over generations. Catherine learned to participate in these traditions while gradually introducing her own family's customs, creating a blend that honors both heritage and personal preference. The tradition of royal godparent selection revealed the complexity of royal relationship management. Catherine discovered that choosing godparents for royal children involves balancing personal friendship with strategic considerations about loyalty, discretion, and long-term family connections. These choices often reflect deeper alliances within British society and demonstrate the royal family's relationships with various social, political, and cultural communities. Catherine's management of royal children's media exposure follows traditions that have evolved with changing technology and public expectations. She learned to balance the public's interest in royal children with their need for privacy and normal development. This involves understanding when photographs are appropriate, how much information should be shared publicly, and when to assert the family's right to private moments. The tradition of royal children's charitable involvement begins at a remarkably young age. Catherine discovered that even very young royal children are gradually introduced to charitable work through carefully selected appearances and age-appropriate activities. This early exposure to public service helps develop their understanding of their future responsibilities while teaching them empathy and social awareness. Royal birthday celebrations for children follow traditions that balance family intimacy with public interest. Catherine learned to plan celebrations that allow for normal childhood joy while accommodating the security requirements and media attention that accompany royal family events. These celebrations often involve multiple layers of festivity, from private family gatherings to public acknowledgements. The tradition of royal children's travel experiences involves complex planning that considers educational opportunities, security requirements, and diplomatic implications. Catherine discovered that family vacations and international trips serve multiple purposes, providing children with cultural exposure while demonstrating the royal family's international relationships and interests. Catherine's approach to teaching royal children about money and material possessions follows unwritten traditions that have been developed to prevent spoiling while acknowledging their privileged position. Royal children must learn to appreciate their advantages while understanding their responsibilities to others less fortunate. The tradition of royal sibling relationships revealed another area where Catherine needed to understand historical precedent while encouraging healthy family dynamics. Royal siblings often face unique challenges related to hierarchy, public attention, and future roles. Catherine learned to support positive relationships between her children while helping them understand their different positions within the family structure. Royal children's participation in state events follows graduated exposure traditions that prepare them slowly for their future public roles. Catherine discovered that decisions about when children should attend various types of events, how long they should participate, and what level of interaction is appropriate all follow customs that have been refined through generations of royal experience. The tradition of royal children's staff management became another area for Catherine to navigate. Royal children require security personnel, educational support, and household staff, but these relationships must be managed to ensure the children develop normally while maintaining appropriate boundaries. Catherine learned to balance her children's need for independence with the reality of their security requirements. Catherine's handling of royal children's friendships with non-royal families revealed additional traditions about maintaining normalcy while acknowledging difference. Royal children must learn to navigate friendships that involve security considerations, media attention, and social hierarchy differences. Catherine discovered techniques for helping her children maintain genuine friendships while protecting both her own family and their friends from unwanted attention. The tradition of preparing royal children for their future roles involves subtle but constant education about constitutional monarchy, public service, and personal responsibility. Catherine learned to weave these lessons into everyday experiences, helping her children understand their unique position without overwhelming them with the weight of future expectations. Through mastering these maternal traditions, Catherine demonstrated her deep commitment to raising the next generation of royals while preserving the customs that have sustained the monarchy through centuries of change. Her approach revealed both the challenges and privileges of royal motherhood, showing how ancient traditions continue to guide modern parenting within the world's most famous family. As Catherine matured in her royal role, she encountered the most sophisticated level of unwritten traditions that governed the preparation for future queenship. These customs, passed down through generations of royal consorts, represent the deepest secrets of royal survival and success. Unlike the earlier traditions she had mastered, these advanced customs deal with political navigation, family leadership, and the preservation of monarchical authority. The tradition of royal influence management became increasingly important as Catherine's profile grew within the family hierarchy. She discovered that royal influence operates through subtle channels rather than direct authority. Catherine learned to shape decisions and guide family discussions through careful timing, strategic conversations, and the masterful use of private moments to express concerns or suggestions. Catherine's role in family conflict resolution revealed another layer of unwritten royal traditions. When disagreements arise within the royal family, resolution follows patterns that have been developed over centuries of managing internal disputes while maintaining public unity. Catherine learned the art of diplomatic mediation, helping family members find common ground while ensuring that conflicts never reach the public domain. The tradition of royal legacy building extends far beyond public appearances and charitable work. Catherine discovered that future queens must carefully construct their historical image through strategic decision-making, relationship cultivation, and the gradual establishment of their unique contribution to the monarchy. This involves understanding how her choices today will be interpreted by future historians and how her reign will be remembered alongside previous royal consorts. Catherine's management of her expanding household revealed traditions about royal staff relationships that balance authority with loyalty. As her role grew more complex, she learned to build a team of trusted advisors while maintaining the hierarchical structures that ensure palace efficiency. This involves understanding the unwritten rules about staff promotion, loyalty rewards, and the delicate balance between personal relationships and professional boundaries. The tradition of royal mentor relationships became increasingly important as Catherine prepared for greater responsibilities. She discovered that successful royal consorts have always relied on informal mentorship from more experienced family members, trusted advisors, and, occasionally, surprisingly, staff members who understand palace dynamics better than anyone. Catherine learned to identify and cultivate these relationships while maintaining appropriate boundaries. Catherine's approach to constitutional understanding revealed traditions about how royal consorts educate themselves about their future role in the British system of government. While she couldn't receive formal constitutional training, Catherine learned to absorb this knowledge through careful observation of the Queen's activities, discussions with knowledgeable advisors, and gradual exposure to the machinery of state that she would one day help William navigate. The tradition of royal modernization requires careful balance between respecting historical precedent and adapting to contemporary expectations. Catherine discovered that successful royal evolution happens gradually and thoughtfully, with each innovation building on established traditions rather than replacing them entirely. She learned to identify opportunities for positive change while avoiding any modifications that might undermine the institution's stability or dignity. Catherine's role in training younger family members revealed traditions about royal knowledge transfer that happen informally but systematically. As she gained experience, Catherine began passing her understanding to newer family members, just as more senior royals had guided her. This involves sharing not just practical information but also the subtle understanding of royal culture that can only be learned through experience. The tradition of royal crisis management became increasingly relevant as Catherine's prominence grew. Royal families face various challenges, from personal scandals to political controversies, and successful navigation of these difficulties follows patterns that have been refined over centuries. Catherine learned the importance of maintaining dignity during difficult periods, supporting family members through challenges, and presenting unity even when internal disagreements exist. Catherine's development of her personal royal style revealed traditions about how successful royal consorts established their unique identity while remaining within acceptable boundaries. She discovered that lasting royal success requires finding ways to express personal interests and values while ensuring these align with the monarchy's broader mission and public expectations. The tradition of royal relationship management with extended family, friends, and associates becomes increasingly complex as one's position in the hierarchy grows. Catherine learned to navigate relationships with people who knew her before her royal status while developing new connections appropriate to her elevated position. This involves understanding how to maintain authentic relationships while acknowledging the reality of her changed circumstances. Catherine's involvement in succession planning, while never discussed publicly, follows traditions that ensure smooth transitions and clear understanding of roles and responsibilities. She learned about the subtle ways that royal families prepare for future changes in leadership while maintaining stability and continuity in the present. The tradition of royal international relationship building revealed another sophisticated aspect of Catherine's evolving role. As her diplomatic importance grew, she learned the unwritten rules of royal diplomacy that complement official government relationships. This involves understanding cultural sensitivities, building personal connections with other royal families, and representing British interests through relationship building rather than formal negotiation. Catherine's approach to media relationship management evolved to include traditions about long-term reputation building rather than simply managing day-to-day coverage. She learned that successful royal consorts think strategically about media relationships, building trust with key journalists and editors while maintaining appropriate distance and never compromising royal dignity. The tradition of royal health and wellness management became increasingly important as Catherine's responsibilities expanded. Royal schedules are demanding, and maintaining physical and emotional health requires strategies that have been developed by previous generations of royals who faced similar pressures. Catherine learned about stress management, schedule optimization, and the importance of maintaining private space for personal renewal. Catherine's role in charitable strategy development revealed traditions about how royal consorts build lasting legacies through public service. She discovered that the most successful royal charity work creates long-term change rather than simply providing temporary support. This involves understanding social issues deeply, building relationships with experts and advocates, and using royal influence to create sustainable solutions. The tradition of royal economic understanding became relevant as Catherine's position required greater awareness of the monarchy's financial relationships with government, private supporters, and commercial interests. While she couldn't be directly involved in financial management, Catherine learned about the economic realities that support royal activities and the importance of demonstrating value for the public investment in the monarchy. Catherine's development as a future queen consort required understanding traditions about the unique role of the monarch's spouse in the constitutional system. Unlike other royal family members, the queen consort has specific responsibilities and limitations that have been shaped by centuries of precedent. Catherine learned about the delicate balance between supporting the monarch and maintaining her own public role. The tradition of royal spiritual leadership revealed another dimension of Catherine's preparation for future responsibilities. Royal consorts often serve as moral exemplars for the nation, and this role requires understanding about religious traditions, interfaith relationships, and the monarchy's role as defender of the faith while respecting the religious diversity of modern Britain. As Catherine mastered these advanced traditions, she demonstrated not only her personal commitment to royal service but also her understanding of the institution's deeper purposes. Her journey from newcomer to seasoned royal revealed the remarkable complexity of traditions that preserve the monarchy's relevance and effectiveness across generations of social and political change. Through embracing these unwritten customs, Catherine connected herself to centuries of royal history while preparing for the challenges and opportunities of future queenship. Her story illustrates how individual dedication combines with institutional wisdom to ensure the continuity of one of the world's oldest and most respected monarchies. The 21 traditions that Catherine follows represent far more than mere customs. They embody the accumulated wisdom of generations of royals who understood that successful monarchy requires more than constitutional authority. These unwritten rules preserve the dignity, effectiveness, and popular support that allow the British monarchy to thrive in the modern world while maintaining its connection to over 1,000 years of royal heritage.